What's up, guys? So, for some crazy reason, they let me host this show tonight, and I am very excited to try not to ruin it. So, right off the get, we're going to get into the World Baseball Classic because there's a lot of controversy around this. Obviously, I lost my star player. I'm not the GM of the Mets, but we lost a big blow. We lost the best closer in baseball. So, there's a lot of controversy, a lot of hot takes from Mets fans and baseball fans in general who are scared to lose their players. But this apparently means a ton to the players, which is what's most important. I mean, we're fans. We love the game, but these guys are the heart and soul of the league, and they are going crazy in the World Baseball Classic, especially the fans from other countries, which has made this really interesting because this World Baseball Classic is going to have higher ratings than the World Series. And that's incredible. That's something that we don't really think about, and a little bit selfish of us American fans. But what do you guys think? Nick?
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. This means the world to the world, I think, is the best way to say it. Just like the passion you see from some of these Latin American teams, especially, like they're all in on this. And I mean, some of the injuries, some of it's hard to avoid. Stuff's gonna happen when you play. There's gonna be freak stuff, but like the Diaz stuff was real tough to watch, especially how it happened. But I mean, I think it's a good thing to grow the sport. Baseball's a thing, a sport that's kind of I don't want to say dying, but an old man's game where they're trying to bring the energy back into it with some of these new guys like J Rod and the celebrations and Acuna. So I think this is just does a great job of showcasing that to people that probably wouldn't normally watch baseball. I mean, people are going to tune into this because of what it is. So I'm all for it.
It's brought a lot of passion because, like, I'm Puerto Rican, and when you grow up in a Spanish neighborhood, it's usually mixed with Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. And there's been a little bit of a rivalry over the years of who has better baseball players and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun talking shit to people. It's definitely different. A lot of people don't understand the cultural aspect of it, but it's been a lot of fun. I know. Let's hear from Brad. Brad is not a big baseball fan. I want to hear from a guy who doesn't really watch baseball. What does he think about this?
So this is probably going to be the most uneducated thing I'm going to say on this entire show, but the fact that we get MLB players playing in this World Baseball Classic has made me actually recognize what's going on, realize who's playing. Like, I'm a huge Mookie Betts fan. If the Dodgers are playing or the Rays are playing, I'll watch it, but I promise you I'm not going to watch anybody else. So to see Mookie Betts out there getting fired up, or Mookie Betts telling the coach, like, hey, manage this team like you're managing the World Series, forget about hurting people's feelings, that got me a little excited. I did tune in. I watched one game, and it was probably the most epic sports moment of the year because we had March Madness on, World Baseball Classic on, golf was on at the same time. Like, it was just all happening. I was at a bar with boom, 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 TV, TV, TV. I think it's pretty exciting. I have no idea. I'm gonna bet on it tonight. I have no idea if it's a good bet or a bad bet, but I'm gonna bet on the United States, and if they win, they win. If not, at least I said I bet on. I participated.
America, baby. All right, Matt. What do you think?
Yeah, man, it's been fun. I've been watching the games. The U.S. lineup is so stacked. It's like video game lineup. It's so fun to watch that go up there. Uh, my pick in the beginning, I might catch Japan tonight, so I'm going to be oppo of you, Brad. Sorry. Uh, you know, we talked about this maybe it was right before the World Baseball Classic got started, and I had a Japan 3.5 to 1 future, so I'm hoping that comes through. Um, wild game. I thought it was chalked against Mexico, down 3-0, but Murakami got that double at the walk off double. It was just such a cool baseball game. It's great to see it because we're not going to get games played with this type of intensity and like uh, this much on the line for like a good 6 months. So like I'm taking this as a treat right now because as somebody who really does love the sport, but is not necessarily as hardcore maybe as a guy like Nick, um, because there's just so little on the line in the middle of May. You know what I mean? Like these guys are throwing out mediocre lineups, things like that. This is just stars top to bottom, and games are getting managed like elimination games. So it is fun. It's a little appetizer, and I think it'll get people hyped for the start of MLB, which is what, like 10 days away, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we get to indulge in betting on dinger props tonight. And we have a nice little list here of some guys, little juice down. I mean, Shohei is at his regular season price of plus 230.
Yeah.
Mike Trout is plus 230, which I'm not crazy about at those odds. But you have a guy like Kyle Schwarber at plus 400, a guy who just does nothing but hit dingers. That's something that's intriguing to me. Yoshida's he's going to have a great season with the Red Sox. I mean, he's plus 470. Then you got some long shots. Tim Anderson, I'm not going to bother betting him at plus 750. But if you had to bet one, I don't know if you're looking at the props right now. If you had to bet one guy to hit a dinger tonight, who would you go with? We have.
So
You want me to go through the
I
list of odds?
yeah, I've looked at it a little bit, and I know Japan's starter is a lefty, and so I'm looking for potentially looking at one of those righties at the top of the lineup. Goldie, Trout, like those guys right there, Arenado, they're all looking pretty good. I would nothing wrong because these guys aren't going 6-7 innings. They will change it up. But I always want to target a guy when during the regular season too. I don't like going past like the fifth hitter. Every once in a while, I'll go to like the sixth guy if there's a great matchup. But you run into at bat issues at that point. So give me a guy near the top of the order who's facing a lefty. Now this kid's 21, and I know he had a perfect game last year with 19 strikeouts. So this dude's another future. He can't even play in MLB for like 2 more years. But like I would take a right-handed guy in the U.S. lineup near the top of the order. So probably a Goldie, probably an Arenado. Betts hasn't really had the power. He's just kind of setting the deck. He knows he's got like 5 home run guys behind him. So it's like, just get on base, dude. Yeah, I think that would probably be my target. A Trout, a Goldie, or a Arenado. Who's the best price?
I mean, there's quite a little bit of a variance between Goldschmidt at plus 285 and Arenado at plus 340.
I like Arenado 340. And if you're on FanDuel, I know everybody's getting that 50% boost token. Slap that on Arenado, man. We'd get over 5-1 on a home run. Probably almost 6-1, right? To take a peek at that. But I think that's my play.
Watch it be Lars Nootbaar at plus 470. We're talking about the top names and
what's his? I know Kelly's pitching, so he's seen Kelly. I know. Like Nick, what's his history look like? Do you know?
I mean, calling me out as a Merrill Kelly expert against
you're the pitching guru, man. Anything pitching, I'm deferring to you.
I mean, gosh, I'll tell you one thing. I wish you could bet the unders on strikeouts in this game because they have Merrill Kelly like 5 as even money. And his first start, he went 3 innings and had 1 strikeout. Or I wish you could bet walks. I bet his over 1.5 walks. I think every game last year he's gonna walk 2 guys. But I'm kind of with you. I kind of like Arenado for a home run. I'm also not opposed to going a Japanese guy to hit a bomb off of Kelly because I think he could give one up as well. I just don't like the Shohei odds. Obviously, it's not really worth playing there. So,
all right, Nick, I got a question, Nick. All right, USA total runs over 5.5 is almost even money, minus 105. What do you think about that?
Funny you say that because I was talking to Eli before the game saying I kind of like the overs in this game. I think there could be a lot of offense in this game.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I mean, almost even money. You could put a nice little wager on that, and that's something you can root for all game.
Right. It's always fun to root for runs and not against runs when you're betting.
Tell Brian that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gotten that message. Yeah, I'm down with that too. I like overs in this game as well. Merrill Kelly, I don't think is gonna come in and throw 6 scoreless innings here. I think if they get 3 out of him, I think they'll be happy.
All right, I'm going to veer a little bit away from the World Baseball Classic because there is a lot of talk about, let me look at his odds real quick. Anthony Volpe. Do they have Rookie of the Year up yet? They do. He's plus 800 to be Rookie of the Year, and there's a lot of chatter. He is killing in spring training right now. I mean, I think that's pretty solid odds. I mean, Gunnar Henderson obviously is a favorite. Yoshida is expected to have a big season, but Anthony Volpe, if he could come in and hit 290 in his first year, he looks like he's going to be a great contact hitter and great overall, defensively, offensively. I mean, plus 800, that's pretty decent value.
As long as he's up for enough time this year. He's in a prime position. He's in a prime market, so he's gonna get both of those bumps. And yeah, I've liked him ever since he's been coming through the minors. He's been a great hitter, and he's always been a top guy. So I think that's a good look as well.
I mean, that's the big thing, right? The prime market, the Yankees, prime markets in general with awards. Forget about it.
Right.
They get the advantage every time. But he most likely they probably do what they do with most rookies. They'll probably sit him down for 2 weeks and bring him back up just to screw with his service time. I don't think that
Right.
2 weeks will make a big difference in the race though. So plus 800 is not bad. You have any awards you're looking at?
I was looking at long shot Tyler Glass now for Cy Young, but then he got hurt, so he taking that off. So I haven't really done any award stuff. Um,
I mean,
I'm not very good with the future stuff there, so I haven't not done anything.
I'm just gonna avoid Otani like the plague. I mean, plus 220 is
Yeah.
disgusting. To
It's
hold my money for 6 months, 5 months for plus 220, no, thank you. But I'm hoping Vladdy has a big. See, I really think he's gonna have a big year this year. He's plus 1300. I was surprised. I thought he'd be third or fourth in this race as far as odds go, but we'll see. I mean, we got a lot of time, so let's get into the NBA slate. All right.
Let's do it.
All right. First game on the NBA slate: Washington Wizards versus the Orlando Magic. I'm excited for this game. What do you think, Brad?
Listen, as a Magic fan here, I was like, do I really want to sit here and bet Orlando? We have this really good thing going where we win a game, we lose a game, we win a game, we lose a game. If I remember correctly, we lost our last game. So I feel like we're due to win this one. It's a short price as a favorite at home. Uh, you know, this is interesting for the Wizards because I was looking at a player prop and like there was no player props that really stood out to me from the Wizards. Maybe Porzingis over points, maybe rebounds, but one that really I thought was getting a little under notice was Wendell Carter, 16 and a half points. It was like minus 105. The only reason I didn't play it was because I just somehow I have these trust issues with Orlando Magic player props. But I think that's a solid look in this game.
Hey, funny you should mention that because that is one of my plays tonight.
Okay, let's get it. Let's get it.
What do you
I
What do you
took
think about him?
him.
I'm good. Okay, sorry.
I took him 16. I actually lowered it to 16 and added his rebounds, 6 rebounds on there to get even money. And then took it up to 25. 25 was plus 700. He's hit 16 plus in 5 straight. 2 of those games were 25 plus, and the Wizards allow the 5th most points to centers. So I'll take a run with him.
I like that.
Who's gonna stop him from getting a double tonight?
I mean, Porzingis wants no business down low. He's just
None.
going to be on the perimeter. So
Gafford's not much of a threat either. So
right.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Kuzma's out. I think I like it for double. 10 rebounds is almost even money. But what about Bradley Beal? The last 4 games without Kyle Kuzma, he's hit over 30 points, 32, 33 range in the last 4 games. I mean, his line is 25 and a half.
I think
He's
that's
gonna
what
carry
kind of
the load.
scared me off of it. It scared me off it because I'd want to play him closer to 23 and a half. But I mean, when you're starting to get like those kind of numbers, if you want to find a parlay leg, that I think I would play Bradley Beal. I just have a weird time betting. I'm betting some guy over 30 today. I have a weird guy betting some guys over the 25 and a half when I kind of have them pegged closer to 23 and a half is what a fair line would be.
Me personally, I really like this game. I think the Magic get revenge here. They got beat up pretty bad twice by the Wizards this year. Kuzma's out for this game. These guys are both desperate for a playing spot, and Orlando just had a really rough road trip. They're back at home. I think they edge out the Wizards here, especially without Kuzma. And I was looking at win margin. It's basically a pick 'em this game. But if
Yeah,
you go to win margin, win 1 to 10 or 1 to 10 is plus 190. So that's something I'm going to root for. I already locked it in, and I'm just going to hope for it to be a close game and they edge them out within 10 points. What
I
about you,
like
Matt? You got
that.
anything?
this one. The whole early slate didn't get me too excited, but I think there were 2 props in particular that I was targeting, and I did throw just kind of a hodgepodge parlay together from the early and mid slate. I like Porzingis points tonight. It's what 23 and a half. I've teased that down a smidge and paired it with Wendell Carter Jr.'s points. I think 15 and a half or so is about right. I think he could definitely get higher than that. It's just a matter of getting it down to him. the Wizards are not good at protecting the rim, and he could stretch the floor anyway. So I like the two bigs to have a big game, but no huge feelings. Advia always is somebody I target when Kuzma's out because all of a sudden he's just got all of this ability to just hunt a triple double like in this spot. And if Beal especially is turning more into a scorer, but I don't know. I just decided to lay off Advia because with Morris in there too and DeLon Wright, the assists can kind of get spread a little thin. But yeah, if Kispert's starting, Kispert threes are always fun. You don't usually like to target Orlando when you're playing threes props, but he's about the fourth guy you have to worry about that's out there. So usually he gets an open look.
Do you have any props that you bet a handful of times a year for no reason, no research, and you just say this guy's, he does it every once in a while? Do you have one of those?
You feel it down in your plums sometimes. Like, yeah, I have that, and I leave a lot of those plays off of the official discords. There's just certain things like that people want from me and kind of expect for my plays. And if I'm like giving you a crazy prop and saying like, "Hey, I like this guy tonight," like, and it blows up, people are like, "Oh, okay, that you're getting out of your wheelhouse here. Get back in your groove." But yeah, there's certain spots like tonight. I think Jared Allen, like especially, he could absolutely feast.
It's only a second time back in Brooklyn.
Yeah. It's to me, it's a great matchup. We saw how effective Joker was down there. He's not nearly as skilled, but all he's got to do is go right forward, and there's nobody down there that can slow him down. Stuff like that. But yeah, that's a long answer to your question, but yeah, I do like plays that I feel like this is a guy's spot to blow up.
Yeah, today my day is I probably bet this 4 times a year. Maybe it's Bradley Beal 4 threes at plus 650. I mean, he's good for it like twice a month. He did it once already this month, so I'm looking for him to get a second big 3-pointer game. His volume's always low, and even when it's high, sometimes he'll go 1 for 6. So it's one of those stupid things that has no research, no meaning, and I'm just gonna bet it just because. But good transition. Let's get to the next game. We have what's next on the agenda. The Cavs and Nets, which we already started to talk about. So we already know what Matt likes. Do you have anything else you like in that game?
You know, I don't want to take Nick's points because I know where he's going with this. But I do like Allen. Has it been ruled in? Has he been ruled in just yet, or are they still kind of hanging that game time?
Still game time decision.
Still game
Yeah,
time.
I expect him to play, man, and I think he'll have a monster game. Finney Smith being ruled in for the Nets is a good. To me, that tells me don't mess with Mobley tonight. If Mobley was, or if Finney Smith was out, I had texted Quan earlier. I'm like, watch Finney Smith because if he's out, I'm pounding Mobley tonight because they just don't have anybody else in that kind of role. But I think that's kind of a pass at that point for me. Dinwiddie assists is always a good look. He's going to be spinning it around, especially he likes to get his assists off penetration and dishing. With the rim protection that Cleveland has, he's going to be able to kick it out to those shooters. Now it's just going to be down to Bridges and Cam Johnson and Joe Harris to knock down shots. But I think Dinwiddie could have a double-double tonight. So your guys like Allen and Dinwiddie as kind of dark horse double-doubles. I know people have liked I've seen the Garland double-double out there tonight, but I think Dinwiddie's got some good value tonight.
I mean, Garland's intriguing. He had 46 against the Nets, but this is the thing now. This is a whole different Nets team, so you can't really go by previous matchups now because it's just a whole different system now. What about you, Nick? You got anything?
Yeah, I took the double ladder with Mitchell and Bridges in this game. Started at 22.5. I mean, Mitchell can give you 13 or he can give you 45. It's catching him on the right day. But I think this is a good matchup for him. And then Bridges seems to score 10 to 12 every first quarter, and then you get to the fourth and you're sweating it. So hopefully for one, he plays this fourth quarter. He sat the whole fourth quarter. He had like 23 coming into the fourth quarter and then sat the whole fourth quarter last game. But I think the Nets are in a spot too. We were talking earlier. They got to win this game to keep that spot ahead of the play-in game here, so I don't see them sitting him in the fourth like that again unless they're down 20 or up 20, which I don't see happening in this game probably. Should be a competitive game, but I'm going to run that up to, let me check the odds here. 35-35, which both guys can and have hit recently, is plus 4,100. So I'm going to go 22.5 to 35 with these two.
The only thing that scares me about this game, which is I'm probably not going to dig too deep, is the pacing. It's going to be a snail's pace. Both of these teams,
slow.
they like to run their shot clocks out and pass around and look for the best opportunity. So I think the Nets are last in pacing right now, and the Cavs aren't too far behind them. Brad, you got anything?
Yeah, no, what you said was kind of like I was looking for more unders in this game, but I didn't find any that I like. Like these two are the two of the teams worse in pacing. The Cavs are only averaging 112 points per game, but I think Brooklyn's like might be 13, but they're only averaging 101 point per game in their last three. So I wanted to bet unders, but I didn't end up playing anything in this game. I might play Mobley double if Allen gets ruled out, but I think he's more likely to be in, which would 100% make me off of it. So nothing I really loved in this game.
Yeah, I'm going with something simple. I'm going with Dorian Finney-Smith to hit 2 threes at plus 100 on DraftKings. I mean, the Cavs give up the most threes to his position. They obviously prioritize the paint, especially with bigs. They want them to take those low percentage shots, so he should get plenty of opportunities. I actually took a parlay with him and Royce O'Neal to hit 2 threes each. They're both at plus money, and it comes out to plus 330. I think Royce comes off the bench and also knocks down a couple threes. The only thing that's really rough about Dorian Finney-Smith is he has the most inconsistent 3-point shooter since he joined the Nets. Before he joined the Nets, when he was on the Mavs, he was the king of 2 threes. 12 of the last 15 games when he was on the Mavs, he hit 2 or more threes. He was good for it. His line was always 1.5. He hit his 2 3. It would get a little juiced here and there, like minus 140. But he was always good for it. He came to the Nets and he would have stretches of 3 games where he would go 1 for 12 from 3. Then he hit 5 threes. Then you go on another stretch of 2 for 12 in 3 games. And then he hit 5 again. It's like, it's very inconsistent. This is the matchup though, to get your 2, help your team out. And I'm going to take that at plus money. So what do we got next on the agenda? I got to keep this up. All right, here we go. Pistons and the Hawks. Blowout potential, minus 13.5 spread. Yikes. Matt, what do you got?
I mean, Trae Young and Murray's out, right?
He's out.
So I mean, Trae Young double for sure. It's just a matter of hoping the Pistons stick around long enough. I know his assist line is like 11.5, which is a little gross. What is that double price? I saw you just highlight it. Minus 400. Ooh.
Yeah,
okay,
minus 350 on my end.
Play that. Okay. But I just pair it with Clint Capella, like, I don't know, 8 points. That's what I did for my hodgepodge. I just took Trae, 10 assists, Capella, 8 points. He's going to get 3 or 4 lobs to Capella. Wiseman is tall, but he's not really a rim protector. To me, that should put you around even money, right? Or is it? I can't even read those odds. Is it minus 180? Ugh, minus 189. So, I mean, again, I looked at this stuff 3 hours ago. So obviously, we get closer to tip, the lines start moving away from us. Maybe just go 11 points or 11 assists, excuse me, and instead of the 8 points. I don't trust Capella complicitly to get his double anymore. Yeah, minus 126. That's a little closer. Okongwu can steal his minutes sometimes. And if it's a blowout, then Capella might lose that last like 5 minutes on the floor. So that's why I opted to go down. Now that it's kind of gotten away from us a little bit, I don't love it as much, but I still think Trae could get you 11 or 12 assists tonight. So pairing that with a low alt total for Capella makes sense to move it into plus money.
I like a prop that Brad had. He said earlier today. So I want to hear about Brad's prop for this game.
Yeah, the last time I took a double against the Hawks, because I said the Hawks are going to be chucking up a bunch of shots, they literally shot like 56% and then 75% in the first half. And my guy didn't even play in after the third quarter. But I'm going James Wiseman double minus 105 on FanDuel. Atlanta gives us the 7 most boards to bigs. But what's really important to note is that both James Wiseman, Jalen Duren, and Isaiah Stewart are both going to be out today. And I saw this pretty crazy stat in the last 6 games. James Wiseman has recorded 21% usage, 19.5 rebound rate, and 54% effective field goal rate. He's going to play 30 plus minutes. He's hit the double in 2 of his last 3. I think it's a good spot for him. I don't want to get too crazy and get super excited about a game that has high blowout potential, but it's just like they don't have many options to play outside of him and Bagley. And those are their big men pretty much.
It looks like they're all in on Wiseman. I think they're going to try to make him a cornerstone player. They have high hopes for him, and
yeah,
I love betting on him because he'll have 3 rebounds, and you're like, this is rough. It's not looking good. And out of nowhere, boom, 5. He'll get 5 rebounds within like 4 minutes. It's just it's incredible. So he's been very consistent on the glass. So I'm definitely tailing that one. Nick, you got anything?
Not really. I mean, I think the Hawks have been probably one of the most disappointing teams this season with all the talent that they supposedly have on this roster. I know they like to collect these people that are play the exact same positions and have the exact same skill set, it seems. But it's just hard for me to trust a team that got outscored by 30 points in the second half to a tanking Spurs team in a game that they had to win. So I'm probably going to stay away from this. I do like the Wiseman look. I usually like Bagley, but he just hasn't been doing it lately. So I do like the Wiseman look, and I'm probably going to stay away from everything else in this game.
I'm probably just going to bet Rodney Magruder for 3 threes, plus 105, which is not nearly as good as it was recently, but Livers is out, so I'm just going to roll with what's working. But other than that, I'm not crazy about that game at all. I'm not going to go heavy on that one for sure.
I think there is a lot of threes potential. You mentioned him, and I think Bogdanovich, now that Murray's out of the way, that opens up some 2-guard minutes for him. It probably opens up some shots for Sadiq Bey and DeAndre Hunter. I could see somebody hitting a nice threes parlay in this game.
That's a good point. Very good point. All right. Well, we have a nice little narrative in the next game coming up, and that's the Spurs and the Pelicans. Brad, you got anything in this one?
I didn't take anything in this game. I actually want to hear you guys talk about this one because when I was handicapping this game, I was pretty confused. I didn't know what I thought was going to happen. I looked at it, I broke it down, and I was like, no, pass. So I want to hear you guys explain some things that you might like in this.
Nick, you got anything?
Do the Spurs have enough guys to form a team tonight, or did you hear about that?
They're struggling with the lines right now. They're
goodness. I mean, I guess a lot of guys are on Malachi and Richardson here, but I don't know. I'm staying clear of this one tonight. I'm not even gonna get suckered into my guy Ingram here.
I know where Jerry's going without even looking. I don't. You didn't tweet anything out, have you?
No.
Okay. Here's my guess. You're going to play Devontae Graham 4 threes. You're going to run Josh Richardson 3 threes, something like that. Like I feel.
I mean, come on.
You got to, don't you? Like, I mean, Graham. I mean, he kind of played well for them, and then obviously they traded CJ. They got him up out of there, and yeah, I think he's going to chuck. Like in this, with knowing who they've got available. Like,
there's so many shots open tonight.
Chuck. Yeah. Graham's going to shoot 12 threes tonight. So
you know what his line is for over 2.5?
What?
Plus 140.
Shit, dude.
Are you kidding?
Roll that, don't we?
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
We got to play it.
He's going to take 12 threes tonight. If he takes 12 threes tonight and misses that line, I'm all right with it. He tried.
Yeah.
It's true because, well, and I know Trey Murphy's he's been hot. So you compare Trey Murphy threes. He's taken a lot. I mean, and again, I don't trust Green, the New Orleans coach. But if this is a Valanciunas game, he could literally have 30 and 30 tonight. Like it's that type of dominance. If they just fed him, but there's too many guys that want to get buckets on that team that, you're not going to CJ and Ingram and guys like that are not going to watch him just post up all night. But literally, who's going to play center for them? Do they even have Bassey for tonight? Like, is he available? Because I know.
I think he's
Go ahead, Brad.
no. Keep going. He's out.
Okay, so Bassey's out, and Zach Collins is out. So I don't know if they have anybody over 6'10" on this team. Like, I don't know where. Now my screen's all goofy. Am I still on?
Oh no, they took down Grand Props.
They took down Grand Props. I think they just announced some players.
Oh,
My God, like this lineup.
Can you guys see me okay?
I could see you. Is anybody gonna pair Dougie McDermott over 1.5 threes in any of their parlays? It's juiced, but I mean he's got to get a lot of run, right?
I mean, minus 185. That's
now I
definitely a
see
decent
things
parlay
better.
piece, right?
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna play at least 25 minutes, like which means he's chucking at least 4 threes.
That kind of stinks that they took down Grand Props quick. I'm really curious to what they're going to relist him as. I mean, they knew he was. I can't imagine that line changing that much. They knew if he played, that would be his line. He was going to
Yeah.
start. So I don't understand why they took it back. It was only on DraftKings. So I don't know. I'm curious. We'll see. We got that game covered, right? Everybody got their ideas for that?
Yeah.
All right. Now we have second to last game. We have the Boston Celtics versus the Sacramento Kings, who apparently have been giving up a lot of threes lately. What do
Yeah.
you got, Nick?
Yeah, I have one play for this here. Let me get the odds pulled up for it. Just a second. I'm on Tatum. Tatum assists tonight. I just think the pace that the Kings play with will just give him enough opportunities, and I was able to start it at 4 assists, and then I paired his rebounds with that to get it at even money, and then ran it up to 10, which is plus 1,200. He's had 6+ and 10 of 14, and 6 was plus 130. Kings allow second most assists to his position. So, I mean, it could be, once again, it could be a Tatum 40-point night. Hopefully get some assists in there. I mean, it might not even be crazy for him to get a triple-double tonight with how he's been rebounding also. But Kings lost one last night, too, that they needed to win. So they're in win mode also here. So it should be an interesting game, how they bounce back.
I just seen a prop. I'm looking right at it. It is plus 1,200. I have not seen plus 1,200 as a standard, like a prop on FanDuel in about 8 months. It is Keegan Murray for 10 rebounds. I don't know if it's a tease. Keegan Murray, we all know he could either be a monster on the glass or he can get 2 rebounds. But
Yeah.
plus
I've
1,200.
hit him for 10 rebounds this year once, so it could happen.
I bet him for a double-double twice. He hit it once for me at really good odds. But
I think with Time Lord back,
Yeah.
that hurts a lot. If it's just Horford and Tatum on the front line, I see it. But Tatum also is going to pull. I mean, he's got to guard Tatum, doesn't he?
I think Barnes will.
Barnes. Okay, who's guarding JB then?
Oof.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The problem here is if he has to guard Tatum, Mike Brown is going to bench him because he's going to get cooked, and Mike Brown has no problem benching
Yeah.
Keegan Murray.
And his rebound chances will be fewer because he'll be on the perimeter more often, especially with Time Lord back. Because
Yeah.
if Tatum's playing the 3 instead of the 4, it's going to pull him out a lot. And I mean, I don't know, is Murray going to guard Al Horford? Like, it's
Maybe.
Fascinating.
I don't think they want him on Tatum. He's been a liability for the last 3 months. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just stay away from Keegan Murray, especially with the way Mike Brown pulls him, which is no disrespect. Mike Brown's a great coach. He's doing the right thing. I never get upset when he kills my prop by pulling him because he's playing to win the game. I know a lot of people get upset. Mike Brown, he's an asshole. He sucks. He's doing the right thing here. He's actually a fantastic coach.
You can get it for plus 1,600 on DraftKings as a parlay piece. So if you threw something pretty easy on it, it's plus 1,600 for 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This game's really interesting. Like I think that this is a good spot to just take like a lot of over points. Well, they've been destroyed all day. This morning I took Jason Tatum over points, but I parlayed him with some golfers. just so I can get a little more better price on the golfers. But ultimately, it like led me to take the Celtics team total over 121.5. We already talked about the Sacramento Kings. They have the highest pace in the entire NBA. And the Celtics, although we sometimes think they play at a slow pace, they really don't, especially compared to last year. And they're sixth in the NBA in effective field goal percentage. Fun fact: both these teams are both coming off a loss, right? And they both came off to a loss to the same team. I thought that was kind of funny to look at. But I think this is a bad spot for Sacramento from a defensive standpoint. The Celtics are finally healthy. They all have all their weapons. Now they can actually run plays like they want to. I think that I don't want to lay 5 for a team on the road. I don't care if that Sacramento's coming off the second half of a back-to-back, but I do think that Boston will be able to score at will. That gives me a chance to play the Celtics team total and not really have to worry about the result of the team because I think they're going to score 125. If you look at the teams that are in the playoffs that the Kings played that were at full strength in this last 20 games, they've been giving up a ton of points. I think the only times they really didn't do that were when they played the Suns, when the Suns had just lost Kevin Durant. So I like the over for Boston Celtics team total.
I also wonder what that locker room's like right now because I don't know if you guys saw, but the Jaylen Brown comments kind of went out there about him,
Oh yeah,
the KD trade and everything like that, and he's saying that, oh, I know KD and Tatum are boys and this and that. I don't know what the future is, and that's kind of weird to be talking about. That you kind of got to give a no comment to that situation during the season. If he let loose, he was just talking about it. So I wonder, if they see each other in the locker room today, if they're having a little discussion, if it messes up any kind of chemistry, if Jaylen Brown's upset, we'll see. But I don't know. This game is I have to just bet threes around any kind of Kings games. They've had some crazy lotto games where guys are just going off. I mean, I remember that game with the Grizzlies. I mean, everybody had like 5 threes at halftime, it felt like. But we'll see. There's some good props for 3 threes. You got Al Horford plus 190. Brogdon off the bench can obviously hit it at plus 210. Fox is inconsistent. I never touch his threes. You could either have 0 or 5. You never know with that guy. Marcus Smart.
He just hit his 5 too. So
yeah, so he's good for another 2-3 weeks easy. Keegan Murray obviously at plus 100. He might have his handful defensively depending on who he guards. So he might not have a big game offensively. Jaylen Brown is disgusting at minus 130. And Jason Tatum even grosser at minus 200 because both of those guys can literally put up 40 points without hitting 2 threes at any given day. Yeah. So it's not, maybe I'll go with probably like Al Horford, 3 threes. He's been solid for it, plus 190. But other than that, I really got to think about what kind of lottos I want to put for that game.
Yeah, there's some good ones for sure. I don't know if Herder's in. God, man, how do you not like Jaylen Brown tonight? Like,
yeah,
I mean, he is going to cook him. And I mean, I don't know where else are they going to go? They could, I guess, Malik Monk after Herder. Like, to me, Jaylen Brown is in the best spot of anybody right now.
They just don't have the bodies to match up with these guys.
That's why I think Murray needs to try to guard Tatum because Barnes needs to guard JB, or else JB's going to have his way with whoever is playing the 2. And I don't know. I mean, but then Al Horford will have a pretty big size advantage on whoever he's guarding. Fascinating matchup here to see like the chess game of who's going to be out there when and how they're going to do it. Yeah, I'm eager to see it, but like you said, threes will fly. I bet both teams probably take 40 threes in that game. So
this is honestly a great matchup for a 30-30 game from Brown and Tatum. I mean, put together, it's plus 342. I mean, they're good for it. They can, and especially in crunch time going towards the playoffs, these guys are going to be chucking a lot. This is the offense. The offense goes through the both of them. You got Al Horford who'll hit a few threes in the corner every game. Robert Williams is not going to probably help much offensively. This game is going to be Tatum Brown, 30 each. As long as they don't get into foul trouble, Tatum doesn't get too passive. I mean, I like that at plus 342. All right, so I think we got that game covered. Last game of the night, the Thunder versus the Clippers. What do you got, Matt?
Man, this is a game that I carved out the rest of my night to dive into because I do think this game's got crazy good potential. It seems like the Clippers are going full gear here. Now, I know that sounds crazy because they could, if they lock in, they'll destroy the Thunder. Like, but they, you know how they do. They'll have big gaps in intensity and concentration, and the Thunder will just keep coming. And I hope that it's a game in the fourth quarter because, yeah, there's just wild potential. There's revenge angles, out the wazoo. Both, obviously with George and Westbrook and SGA, there's so many guys that have played on the other team that will want to do well. The matchups are tasty. So I'm going to dive in. I haven't fully yet, but I do think we see a pretty big game out of Kawhi Leonard. They don't really have anybody to match up with him. I'm assuming Lou Dort will probably guard Paul George and outside. I don't know. So that means what, Josh Giddey or Jalen Williams is going to try to guard Kawhi.
I'd guess
Kawhi
probably Williams would be my guess.
Yeah, Kawhi will give him 30 tonight. I'm pretty confident in that. I think that's his line, though. I wish it was.
It was his line. When you said that, I had the same thought, and I go look at his line. I think it's like 28 and a half, and I was like, oh
you run the 40-40? You run the 40-40 with those two?
Well, and SGA will kill Westbrook. Kill him.
Oh, so, kill him.
Yeah, it's – yeah.
40-40 is plus 5,200.
Let's run it, Nick. I'll be pissed at myself if I don't run it right now. So I got to lock that in.
What about
go ahead, guys.
What about crazy eights with Giddey and Westbrook?
Yeah, I think JD put out the both guys doing a double or a triple tonight. And so anytime I play somebody that throws out like 100-to-1 lotto like that, I do the crazy eights like we talked about, Jerry. And I even played them down to 6 and 6 and 6. Like,
for those who have no idea what that is, go ahead and let me know.
Rebounds and assists for both guys. Okay. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, the 10-10-10-10 is like 20,000. And then if you run the crazy eights, it's 20-to-1. At least when I locked it in.
Yeah, it's 2-4-7-8 right now.
Okay. And that's gone up. And then the 6-6-6-6 was 316. So I had to lock that in. Austin 316. It says I just cashed that bet, but I don't know, guys. Go ahead. What do you think?
What do you got?
I could take this one away because you talked about SGA. I'm on SGA over 31.5 points. He can absolutely smoke tonight, Westbrook. We've been talking about Westbrook all season, right? Like, he's a big effort guy. Like, he gives a good effort. He's just not good defensively. And if SGA wants to, he can torch the team. I think he had 40 earlier in the season against them. He's 1-1 on the season, this prop. But we talked about the Thunder possibly making a run this season. The Thunder are 7-2 in their last 9 games, which is absolutely insane. Like, to think about it, does anybody have an angle where they're considering maybe playing Thunder team total, Thunder +7? I didn't think I could bring myself to it since I'm already going to be on SGA. But does anybody have any thoughts about that?
Who was it in this group that said, I will never bet the Thunder? They're out of it. They're not going to make it. Somebody said it in this group.
I believe it was the guy with the long hair over there.
Yeah, I think so too. You said,
I don't bet him on the side. Heck no.
No, I mean the playoffs and stuff. You said Thunder.
The playoffs. Yeah. Well, I thought SGA was going to get shut down, and it looked like that for a while there. I mean, this guy was not hurt at all, and they're arresting him with all sorts. Oh, he's got COVID. Oh, he's got his ankle. Oh, he's got 3 different ailments, so we can call it whatever we need to call it for him to rest. They're going to play him a few more times, and that was also before LeBron got hurt. So
you want to know who's a dude? Jalen Williams is good.
Yeah, Jalen Williams can play.
He's gonna be a real good asset for that team going forward.
Yeah. It's I mean, for me, I was big on the Lakers as is, and obviously that I risked health. The health ultimately came back to bite me in the ass. LeBron got hurt like a couple games later, and I don't know. I still stand by the position at the time because you look at those rosters. I mean, they're night and day. They would sweep the Thunder in a playoff series. So I thought they'd have enough to get it done. LeBron's ankle blows up, and so does that bet. But I'm happy. I know there's a lot of guys here that had Thunder futures, so you guys cash.
Nick, you got anything?
Nah, I don't have anything. I'll probably run that 40-40 with Matt just in case, because if I talk about it and then it don't play it and it hits,
Dude,
that
$20
would probably
wins
be,
you $1,000. Come
yeah,
on,
exactly.
let's do it.
So I'll probably run that. I'll be on the crazy eights with you guys as well.
I locked in the crazy eights just because it's my first time doing this crazy eights thing. I'm gonna party with the boys.
Yes.
Yeah. Other than that, I think I'm also gonna stay away. But I'm sure it'll be like 9:30, or this is a 10:40 game. It'll be like 9:45 at night, and I'm gonna stare at this game and say, I got to throw in something. But as of right now, just looking on the surface, this is not gonna be an easy read for me. So we'll see. I think
Are they not going to give you Graham's props back, or what's going on here?
they still didn't relist it?
I bet they'll drop it 10 minutes before tip.
I don't understand why they took it away in the first place. They kept it out all day and took it away for some reason. I guess the odds were too good. Too many people hammered it, maybe. I have no idea. That's annoying. I hate when they do that, when they release it like 5 minutes before tip, and by the time you tell it or everybody, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
just saw it
you got
now. The game's
smashed.
locked.
Shams got the minutes report and let him know, like, all right, well, Pop told us Graham's got green light tonight. He's getting 34 minutes and as many shots as he can put up. So, and they're like, oh God, we better protect ourselves. But I saw in the chat somebody was asking about Westbrook and Giddey. Yes, 6 rebounds, 6 assists for both of them on FanDuel plus 340. I've got that in pocket. And then the crazy eights that we were talking about, same guys, same props, just for 8. And then the 10s is same, obviously again, same guys, same props, just scaled up.
All right, one best bet for the NBA slate, starting with Nick.
I really like if I'll give out one, it would be Bridges and Mitchell to hit the base of 22.5, I think it was, each for plus money.
Okay. What about you, Brad?
Celtics team total over 121.5. I think they just light them up.
All right. I'm taking a shot on Dorian Finney-Smith to just hit his 2 threes at plus 100 on DraftKings. What about you, Matt?
I'm waiting on Jared Allen. Let's assume he's in.
He's ruled in. He's in.
Okay.
Yeah,
ruled in. Got confirmation. All right. I'm going to get over there, and I'm going to bet Jared Allen double-double tonight. Nick Claxton, like him. Good guy. Nice player. But Jared Allen, he's 2 for 2 on double-doubles against the Nets this year. Let's make it 3 for 3.
It's going to be cool to see what was supposed to be the future at center for the Nets go against the now future of the center for Nets. So it's going to be a fun battle for sure. So I think we got the NBA slate. What about some golf, Brad? Can you tell me a little bit about some golf?
Yeah, man. So those who don't know, Dell Match Play in Austin, Texas. So you have a couple guys who are from Texas in the field with the defending back-to-back champion, Scotty Scheffler. You have Jordan Spieth, who's also a longboard in this. Basically what the guys do, it's 64 golfers paired up in groups of 4. They do round robin pool play and they play against each other. And then it's March Madness bracket style, mano y mano, and just play the best 16 until one man wins. I have some group bets that I like. I'm going to grab my phone for this because I didn't put these ones in my notes. But I'm going to just give you guys my favorite. If you guys want to go to my channel, you absolutely can see all of them. But my absolute favorite group bet is Scotty Scheffler, plus 100. This was BetMGM. Scotty Scheffler is such a great all-around golfer. He's going against Alex Noren. He's going against Tom Kim and Davis Riley. Maybe Davis Riley continues his hot form from last week, but I don't think that's going to happen. Davis Riley's best form compared to Scotty Scheffler's medium form, they don't even compare. And it's kind of rude to say. Let's put this in perspective from a total strokes gained perspective, right? Scotty Scheffler over the last 24 rounds has gaining on average 2.78 strokes per round. The next closest person in his group is Tom Kim at 0.63. Then it goes to 0.32 to Alex Noren and 0.28 for Davis Riley. Everyone loves a long shot, so I'm going to give a long shot winner. That's Tom Hoge to win. The line has dropped significantly. I gave it out on my channel at 80 to 1. He has a difficult group. But what you want at a course like this, especially at 7,200 yards, is you want guys who are good ball strikers who can putt. Tom Hoagie can do precisely that. He picked up his first career win, which was great for him. Now he can go out there and he can game, and he's done this before. It's hard to win this tournament as a rookie because match plays a lot of strategy, a lot of psychology. Now Tom Hoagie it was his second win, excuse me, I'm sorry. Tom Hoagie picked up his second win. He doesn't have any of this pressure because once you win your very first tournament, the hardest thing that you have to deal with is they always ask, is he a one and done or is he going to do it again? At 80-1, I think it's a price that you have to consider because this is unlike any other golf tournament. It's not about necessarily winning the tournament, right? For us bettors. If you get an 80-1 and a 50-1 going against a guy who's a 12-1 in the finals, you're going to still get hedgeable odds because it's golf. They might make it 175, and you could hedge minus 175 when you have a guy 80-1.
I mean, you just lit up when I mentioned the word golf. That was incredible. I was smiling the whole time. I could listen to you talk golf for hours. You just were just on a roll, didn't stop. That was fantastic. Unbelievable. But
I
definitely
appreciate that.
some good insight there. I think that wraps up the show. I don't think we have anything else. I don't think anybody's betting. Anybody betting hockey or anything like that?
Must-win game for the Leafs, but I'm not going to bet
Thank you, and shout out to Pickett Sports. Shout out to Boom Fantasy, and shout out to everybody watching who got through me being a host. Which I don't know. Did I do a good job tonight, guys?
You did a great job, man. That was tight.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Shout out to our producer Eli in the background. He needs some love too. I think he needs a hug. Honestly, he looks a little upset. All right. Well, we'll catch you. Are we doing this tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.